In the upper right, folks, in the blue, you overcome, well, probably the scariest online player in Beyond to get here. It's Solar. And in the bottom left, in the red for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the champion of Atlanta, it's herO. And away we go. Well, that's obnoxious. The player names are wrong. Love it. Don't know why that is. Anyway. We can still enjoy things even if the player names are wrong. That is Solar. We were looking at Nightmare earlier. I don't know why that isn't working. It was working earlier. Anyway. So. Game number 1 here of this series. Again, herO has been playing rather strong as of late. It's less aggressive, to be totally fair. Not quite as much of a thing. Not quite as active as we saw herO versus Solar moving into Atlanta. You know, it was all about that 6 or 7 minute timing on the map where you get blink and everything else. And, well, less now. Protoss players have started to realize that you don't need to be that aggressive to still find value on the map. You can go and get your blink and go do your Stargate things, and it's fine. And then you just kind of turtle on your 3 bases, get on 4 bases, get really quick upgrades, and then the Zerg feels like they have to attack into you, and that doesn't really work out all that well. So we're gonna have to see just how well this one is gonna work out. Whether herO goes for the aggressive option, we have seen that occasionally, or whether it's the more the more placid defensive option. And if that's the case, does Solar try to get aggressive off this? We've seen Solar against some, quite frankly, more inferior opponents. Firefly, Prince, try to go and take advantage of that defensiveness and get aggressive. It hasn't worked out for him all that well. He's broken himself against the rocks of some players you would very much expect him to beat quite often. But I think he's learned. I think part of that was Zerg's opened in such a way as to defend against the heavy aggression, and then when you go and when that doesn't happen as much, you don't need to cut the corners to defend the aggression. Instead, you can cut corners and be more economically greedy in that way. But for now, oracles are on the way, and Depth Shade's in the main base. Doesn't find much of anything. The oracle enables a dead overlord, and that already is pretty nice in and of itself. Oracle dives in. Spore's not yet ready, and herO's oracle control is really nice. He's going to force a spore cancel, which, by the way, is in and of itself pretty sick. That is going to be the extent of the damage for the moment. But of course, there are going to be more oracles on the way. We got 2. And now third one joining the fray here. And normally the third one, his job is just to defend the third base. Especially against a player like Solar, who is want to go for these heavy ling bits of pressure on the third, try to get that cancel. And that really does make the oracle rather worthwhile. It's a couple more drones fall. A grand total of 5, I believe. 4, excuse me. At the moment. But now here come the adepts, and there are 4 of them. They don't have any upgrades behind them. It's not some sort of glaive timing, but it's just worker killing power. More pressure on the map, forcing the queens to defend this at the front means the oracles can dive in elsewhere, but they're not doing anything. They're just stuck static. And this, I guess, at the end of the day, what this did, it forced more links. So for now, the adepts and the oracles, they do mean the lings cannot take this fight, and as long as you're off creep, I mean, the queens can't really join this. So again, herO has not lost a single unit. Now, it's only an overlord, 4 drones, 4 lings, but even still, herO hasn't lost a unit. Solar has bled out just a little bit. He gets the creep tumor. Oracle adept pressure, the thing the devs designed when they wanted creep to be denied. And actually, I think they're going to be able to do it again. These adepts, they don't shade, they just get creep. This is actually so sick. We don't see this happen all that much, but it makes me very happy indeed. Makes me very, very happy indeed. But for now, the Queens will finally force all this back, but that's just because the Adepts are completing their shade forward. One Adept, I think, has finally gone down. Lings on the other side, trying to find some level of aggression, but they're not going to find that as the Adepts have fallen. And these Lings will be dealt with. So, Solar takes a little bit more damage. The Adepts get a couple workers. Run by not super successful. More Lings will join the fray, though. And the wall that was once plugged is now open. But as the Oracles arrive and as they're Zealots and Stalkers, yeah, these Lings, they're not going to get much done. So for the cost, 4 Zealots and a Stalker. Or 4 Adepts and a Stalker. herO has gotten a whole hell of a lot more, but oh man. His tech is all over the place. He is getting so much stuff. He's getting a Robo-Bay and a Templar Archive, so Storm and Disruptors. Or maybe just Archons. Probably just Archons. We'll see. And Solar's going Spire. Which I think theoretically it's very good against these very ground-based styles. But, oh, that's going to be a dead Oracle. herO just runs over things. But luckily, he still got 2 of them, and that does one-shot workers. But not a lot of energy on these things anymore, so they're only going to get a couple workers. 4 is going to be the number it looks like. But again, the concept of a Spire makes sense on some level, although herO has scouted it, because you have this ground-based army, right? They don't have... In fact, I'm sorry, I didn't even realize herO doesn't have Blink. It's 7 minutes in. He hasn't even started Blink. Did he? He got charged. Okay, yes, Charizard Archon timing. I'm sorry, what am I doing? I was focusing so much on the multitasking and that cool Adept little pressure. We didn't even talk about the fact that, well, Estrella has reared his head. It's going to be a Charizard Archon timing with a Disrupt. Well, I say with a Disruptor, but no, not... Oh, actually, as I say that, okay, we'll be saved. Nice job there, herO. Pulls his army back, but it's Solar buying time, and these Lings are rather obnoxious. So as Solar runs across the map, Solar puts a run by into the third base. That's a lot of Lings that are not here with this army. In fact, there's not a lot of army here whatsoever. Roaches have joined the fray, but herO he's feeling a little bit spicy. He's got a lot of damage, and Lings actually will find their way in to the mineral line. But okay, how much damage does herO get done with this? Zealous Force drones off to the left side. And, well, the Disruptor's not getting a shot just yet. It's actually just going to be recalled because the Lings, they find their way into the main base. And, yeah, 12 probes have gone down. Some Zealots are falling, or some drones are dying as well. Wow, I can't talk tonight. But at the end of the day, this is something that favors Solar. He handled this very well indeed. But the Disruptor count is starting to grow. The armor is just about done. So the next thing we're worried about, folks, it's the mutas. 10 are on the map. A couple more are on the way, going up to 13 or 14 most likely. But if you fight with the Archons, you're kind of okay. There we go. That's 1 dead muta. There's actually no... herO, you knew about this. This is actually kind of unacceptable. herO saw this a while ago. But there is no stack defense in mineral line. So Disruptors are falling. herO, though, he's just going all in. Biles will not land. I thought they were going to get the Disruptors, but at the end of the day, Biles... Well, how are they going to be? Disruptor? Oh, okay, just not getting to the Zealots. I thought that was going to be a bit of friendly fire. There it is, and this army is just not big anymore. Disruptors are nice. The Roaches are kiting backwards. Archons are falling, and as the Archons fall, the mutas will be able to kill a lot more. 21 workers are dead. Disruptor shot tries to find something. It's not going to really get much of anything, and herO, he's got to run away, down 30 workers, down 30 army supply, and honestly, kind of down this game. That shot will not go off. Ballsy attempt. Muta's magic boxing on the Archons. Archons picked up in a Warp Prism. I feel like you'd rather get damaged, but there we go. Warp Prism is dead. Disruptors are dead. Everything is dead. There really is nothing much left for herO in this game, unfortunately. Feels like sometimes he gets a little bit too big for his britches, and he has these ideas about how he wants to play the game, and they're a little bit too greedy. Although this is going to be a nice catch for him. He's going to get a lot of these mutas, actually. Still enough to one-shot workers, but not through a shield battery. Not anymore. And again, I'm not sure how much it really matters because herO's economy in the dumpster. Because he just tries to chase these mutas out, but Solar doesn't care about mutas anymore. He's almost maxed out on his ground army. Banes and Roaches and Ravagers. He would love Bane speed. But he won't find it. It's not available to him. Not for a while, and that does mean these Disruptors have a shot. Or sorry, this Disruptor, there's only 1 of them. And okay, so Is this going to happen? Ling's on the full swing around. Disruptor shot gets a lot of Ravagers, but the army is trapped on it. And yeah, you can blink here, herO, but I'm not sure it really matters because, well, the tech is gone. Disruptor's going to put a shot off, and he gets a ton of Banes. But folks, as much as I would like to say that this is something, that this is going to win the game and turn the game around, just kind of like a Pyrrhic victory. The economy from herO is just so damn shattered at this point as the mutas fly and get more workers. It's only 3 mutas, but it's going to be rather nice. Stalkers, they're trying to do what they can, but they only have 1-1. Yeah, maybe they're a little bit tankier, but I don't know, Kev. Especially now that Baneley speed is just about done. +2 is done. I mean, it's just +2 Banes. They're terrifying. They annihilate mineral lines. They annihilate, well, everything. And this army from herO, it is very much a last-ditch army. But look at, oh, actually, I'm sorry, that's not a concave. That's just a bunch of overlords. I thought Solo had an insane concave, but he does bait out a disruptor shot, and that's something at the very least. And, you know, herO's doing a great job staying in this game. Stalkers blink forward, targeting down a couple Ravagers, and multiple disruptors do force them out. But there we go. Now here comes Solar pulling the trigger. He can count the shots. One disruptor is actually going to go big. It's going to go massive. But are there any more shots available? I don't think so. It's just the army rolling forward. Banelings at the front here. Banelings are going to get the disruptor, but not before the shot goes off. So that's a nice, you know what? Actually, Solar's starting to make something happen, but okay, one final disruptor. If he can get the Banelings here, it's going to be something, but he's, oh no, he rallies into the army, and that's not what you want. Banelings run forward, but there's a shot. Actually kind of misses. He could have gotten a little bit more Banelings into the mineral line, and now economy ravaged. And this was where herO was mining, but I think he cleans this army up. Army supplies are starting to equalize, and if he can do something about this, maybe. But folks, as nice as it is that 7 drones have fallen, I would like to direct you to the worker count, where we see 66 workers to 17. Solar has to, he just has to weather this storm. herO has to win with this army and this army alone, or he is better than the dodo. And that has been extinct for over 100 years at this point. As the disruptors fall, so too does herO. Solar takes game 1. In the upper right, folks, in the red, down a game in this series. Let's see if he can take it back. It's herO. And his opponent in the bottom left, in the blue, up 1 game. His muta's got so much done. He is Solar. And now we have it working. We can actually see that this is herO in our picture-in-picture. That seems somewhat useful. Always fun to see how much the players spam, you know, how active they are in the early game in particular, as they go and they set their hotkeys on all the different bases and do all those fun things. And, you know, as much as that game, the mid game, the late game, oh, we gotta pause. But as much as that, the mid game and the late game kind of looked spooky for herO or for Solar. I mean, herO did such a great job of creep denial, of killing things. It was great.
Game resumed.
That was a really cool early game from herO. That was, you know, with the creep clearing squad and the damage he was getting and bouncing all over the place. But at the end of the day, I mean, the mutas, herO scouted the spire. And I don't know, maybe he thought that because he scouted the spire, it wasn't going to do anything. But those mutas got an unacceptably large amount of damage done, considering what herO knew. And I could have sworn he was reacting to it. Like, he scouts the spire and immediately queues up Blink. Now, granted, you get Blink after charge, obviously. But even still. There we go. Ooh, Twilight First from herO. Interesting. Very different. I'm going to, well, okay. I was gonna say I'm gonna assume this is Glaives, but Tropical Sacrifice is not really a Glaives map. It's kind of big, and we have seen the resurgence of DTs into Archon drops pretty often as of like. Christianer loves it. Christianer does it almost every game versus Zerg, but we have seen herO do it on occasion, so we're gonna keep an eye on his gas count to see where exactly he decides to go from this. Whether it will be charged, well, not gonna be charged this early on. Whether it will be Glaives, whether it will be DTs. And the second gateway tells me Glaives, I think. It's just such a weird build. Normally you get Robo regardless of what this is. Okay, so Ling is gonna, oh, okay, this is the problem though. Ling is gonna get a scout up in the main base, gonna see the 2 additional gateways, is gonna see the armory, or the, excuse me, the armory, the tech lab, this is not a Terran, the Twilight Council researching, and maybe even get a probe to boot. Oh, it's gonna be okay. Probe does not go down, but that is a fantastic scout there from Solar. Sees the additional gateways, sees everything that is happening. And I'm curious now where herO goes from this. I didn't think it was going to be Glaives, but it clearly is. And it's 4-gate Glaives. There's no Robo. And normally you do get that Robo. You do want the additional warpins. So I've seen 3-gate Adept expand. I haven't seen 4-gate Adept expand. But I think that's what we're going to see here, because again, the lack of a Robo does kind of tell us that herO's not going to commit to this as much as he otherwise would. He's got money in the float for something. And I'm going to be very curious to see where he goes with this, because the adepts are shading across the map. But folks, remember, there's no reinforcement here. There's no ability to add more adepts on top of the adepts that already exist. But herO, okay, there's the 3rd base. But it's about a minute slower than you would go for Stargate. It's slower than you would go for 3-gate adept pressure into a 3rd. And these adepts, they're not even going to shade in. More adepts are getting warped in, of course. But they're so far away. Again, bit of an interesting build from herO. Not something that we see all that often, or to my mind, one I can remember seeing at all, really. And yeah, it does force Solar to stop droning on 40-41 drones for the most part, build a lot of units. But it also means that Solar can run across the map and kill you, because it's just adepts. You can't build immortals, you can't build a warp prism, and adepts do not fight roaches all that well. Lings get a great surround, so a couple adepts will fall immediately without getting much of anything done. Drones are now going to get pulled away, and realistically, none of them should fall as the adepts, they shade away once again. Lings trying to zone things out, but you gladly trade army for army here. Maybe, okay, there we go. That's the shade that they're looking for. A couple workers will fall, but it's still only 4. I mean, yes, we're far later into the game when the Zerg is still equal-ish, and in fact, herO's ahead in workers. But even still, I don't know. I don't feel like it's getting enough. Who knows? Maybe my read is wrong. I would love to learn something new here. As for now, the adepts, they shade forward once again, and Solar, he seems to be on top of this. Lings are where they need to be. The shade will not complete with roaches behind. And this is actually kind of cool here, because here's what herO's done. He's forced a lot of roaches. He forced a lot of Lings. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, man, that was a juicy adept shade if they wanted to complete it. But I think too many of them would have fallen. And behind this, he's got charge on the way. He's got +1 on the way. He's going into that charge lot. I was going to say charge lot Archon, but there's no Templar Archives. I don't think he necessarily... Well, he has the gas for it. But he's getting charge first instead of Blink. And wait, did he? Oh no. Oh no. This is double plus on good. I was talking about how this was so cool that we were seeing some level of charge out of this, and it was going to be his charge timing. I think herO thought he had Blink. He cancels charge on the way, and now adepts, they're going to have to get so much more. herO's timing's all screwed up. Yeah, he's got his 3rd base, but I think he wanted to be able to have Blink with this. I mean, sure, Blink still times up with +1 well enough, but this does feel like a mistake. This shade is a mistake here. The majority of them will fall down. Ling's getting the good surrounds. They try to fight their way into the mineral line, and Solar isn't pulling away the mineral line. He understands he actually doesn't have to. This entire adept, well, I mean, there are 2 in the main base, but actually it's going to be 1. Very, very few workers will go down. That adept commitment, it's worth absolutely nothing. 18 adepts have died for 5 workers. No, Not worth it whatsoever. And there's a full scout on the main base. I don't know how much that gives him, but I hate to be this guy, but it feels like herO has outthought himself 6 ways from Sunday. I mean, yeah, he's got disruptors on the way. They're not ready just yet. He's got immortals, but it's 80 army supply to 34. +1 will be done, I think, at the end of this first wave, and I think we're going to have 1 disruptor. But if Solar finds the good fights, I mean, I don't know that there's going to be enough. Ling's trying to find their way into the natural. Good force fields here is the start. Disruptor is going to get targeted down just immediately, and its shot doesn't even go off, so you don't even have that bit of a saving grace here. We can see the Robo fall very, very quickly indeed. Biles land on top of that one, so no more disruptors popping out. Adepts moving forward, but it's Adepts versus Roaches. Pardon me if I don't believe. Proselytize to me, chat. Tell me something's different, but I don't believe in this. Stalker's on the high ground. This is a nice concave. And Solar, well, for the moment, he's actually lacking reinforcements, and the Stalker's playing on the low ground. So for the moment, herO holds. And the Biles, no, herO! I was saying he was going to hold, but those Biles are just... He's not going to eat more, but those were like 5 Biles. Killed off a couple Stalkers. More took damage. Again, very much not what you're looking for. The Stalker now, they're trying to chase this army down, but the Roaches will turn. The Ravagers will turn. They'll kill a Stalker. Now +1 range is done. Melee is on the way. Bailing speed halfway done. Solar's got his 4th base. 14 drones saturating that. And yeah, herO's got 70 workers. So maybe, after all, maybe this is going to work out. But Adepts will shade into the natural here as we got much more pressure coming in from herO at the front, but it's a bit disjointed. He's trying to do the herO thing where he does 2 things at once, but it doesn't seem like it's working out for him all that well. Well, he's actually starting to punch through on the north side. His Adepts, though, they've fallen, and it's all about the pressure at the front. Solar needs to bring his army back together, but I feel like he's bought enough time. And more Adepts join the... Adepts as a primary combat unit is so weird in this matchup. But they do a great job of shredding the Lings. Granted, it's both the Roaches and the Ravagers with this +1 range, and here come the Ravagers. But even still, the Adepts, they can get on top of Ravagers. At least until the Banelings are done, but the Banelings will be done soon. But, you know, I mean, herO's brought army supply back pretty even. We're going to see a dead Ravager here. The Banelings, they do have Baneling speed. And they're going to get right on top of these Adepts. Sabiles, oh, they're going to get the Observer. That's fun. And the force fields, they're going to be nice for now, but Solar's going to run right around it as the army does move forward. That Adept shade does not work, but this is going to be a dead Immortal here. And the Biles, they're going to not land, but again, primary combat units Adepts, it's an interesting idea. It's one that has been tried on occasion, but unfortunately not quite enough. Although a couple of Adepts find their way into the middle line. They get a Queen. That's nice. But +1 melee is done. +2 is on the way. And, well, +2 done for herO. He's doing a great job of holding on to this game. And I've been talking about this game the entire time as if he's dead. But I guess he's not really. It's again, these Adepts, they're trying to get damage done. But again, Solar just shuts it down. And again, we Solar turning up the aggression on his opponent again, realizing that he doesn't have a timing here. Disruptors, there are only 2 of them on the map. 1 on the right side. Shot will go off, and it doesn't really get much of anything. Ravagers, they stay, or Banelings, they stay alive for now. Second shot goes off. This one might be a bit juicier. In fact, it will. A couple Ravagers fall, but is that going to be enough? 14 probes go down in the middle line. The Lings, they run right on through. Biles, they're not going to land, but Lings, they're going to get right on top of the Disruptor. Will it go off in time? It doesn't matter. The shot's going to go wide. Stalkers, they blink backwards, I think to their doom, as the Banelings, they start connecting more and more and more and more. This one Disruptor, the dream that herO has. Unfortunately, I don't know how much is going to get done, but as I say that, the Lings do not kill it in time, and a lot of Ravagers fall. Again, herO seems like he's on the path to holding. But folks, I got to ask you the question once again. It really is, at what cost? Because herO just lost 31 workers. And somehow he didn't have charge. But he does now have charge on the way. Templar Archives as well, but really lacking the money to well, he can build Archons. But that's about it. Doesn't really have, he's really sorely lacking in the mineral count. I mean, look at this dive in economy. No Solar. He's got 5 bases up. 6th base is on the way. I guess the one bit of surprise is that we're not seeing him transition to Hive. I think I would have expected that. All things considered. Just, well, hey, you know, we're looking at this setup. Disruptors are out, so Vipers are great. But Solar seems just content on trying to sledgehammer his opponent into the ground time and time again. +2 attack is going to be done. Disruptor is going to be nice, but not game ender, not just yet. Banelings are going to find a bunch of Stalkers on the left side, which is maybe not the optimal target, but Banelings come flanking in from every side. Doesn't even matter. Disruptor shot, again, is going to be fantastic. The one saving grace that herO has in this game, but Banelings are going to realize that, hey, there's a mineral line, and they don't need to kill the army. I mean, it's nice if they do, but they just kill the economy time after time after time. Disruptors are looking for what they can find, and they find a lot, but it really is only Archons remaining at the end of the day, and Lings with +2, they're even killing the Archons. They're getting those surrounds. 35 probes have fallen, and the reinforcements from Solar at this point feel like they will do enough. Another Archon hitting the deck. Zealots run forward, and there are no Banes, so for now, at least, that is something. As the Disruptor, well, nice Lings around there, and the Roaches will fall, but the Disruptor trades his life, and as the Zealots go down, herO is about to be 0-2'd. Solar with an incredibly impressive run. Okay, Roaches will fall, but it's this insanely impressive run. He's 2-0'd Beyond, and now he 2-0'd Solar. Damn. What a game, what a series.